Hi, my name is Richard Casey from Robinson & Casey, and I'm here today to talk to you about the differences between the Baker Act and Marchman Act and how they apply to you and your loved one. Dealing with a loved one's addiction or mental illness can be a difficult and overwhelming process, and we're here to guide you through that. Did you know that there are legal routes that you can take to help a loved one who may be resisting treatment? Some of those options include, in Florida, the Marchman Act and Baker Act, and other options can become available if a guardianship were appropriate for your loved one. Now, a lot of people don't necessarily know what the difference between each of these options are, and they do serve different purposes and have different ways of implementing them and different criteria that you need to meet for them to apply to assist you in getting your loved one the help that they need. You may be more familiar with the Baker Act, which involves the assessment of an individual in a local hospital who's suffering from a mental illness. You may also want to know what the difference between the Marchman Act and the Baker Act is. Looking first at the Baker Act, those are cases associated with people suffering from mental illness. And under this act, a person can be held for 72 hours for an involuntary assessment for mental health issues. Ultimately, that usually does not result in long-term treatment. On the other hand, the Marchman Act primarily deals with substance use disorder and co-occurring mental health issues, or just substance use disorder alone. The difference is the family is given the opportunity to petition the court for that long-term treatment, which can last for up to 90 days or even longer if extended, when their loved one is resistant to accepting treatment assistance. Now, this law primarily deals with individuals who have a substance use disorder, and they can have co-occurring mental health disorders, but it does apply only if there is at least some substance use, misuse, abuse, or dependency. Additionally, the Marchman Act allows families to access private treatment facilities that they can have a participating say in exactly where their loved one will go and receive treatment. So then it becomes, which one should you use? And which criteria will my loved one meet? Each one can apply when their loved one is taking certain actions that are putting themselves in danger to themselves and others. And sometimes a Baker Act for psychiatric stabilization is necessary in advance of a Marchman Act to ensure that a loved one is stabilized and can properly admit into a treatment facility at the residential or lower levels of care. But the Baker Act may not ultimately require that long-term treatment that a family may be looking for their loved one. And there's no guarantee that the hospital will actually hold your loved one for anything up to or longer than that 72-hour window. And the family is relatively out of the loop as to recommending how long of treatment or what additional treatments they should be given or recommended. There are certain criteria that need to be met. For the Marchman Act, those involve substance use and co-occurring disorders may apply when loved one is refusing to receive treatment voluntarily, and they may have put themselves in danger, or they may be so impaired by their use of substances that they can't make a decision for treatment for themselves. Having a legal counsel guide you through those different nuances can really make all the difference, as we're ultimately able to put together a strategy that will work for you and your family. And there's nothing more important than ensuring your loved one gets the help they need. The final decision between whether or not you apply the Baker Act, the Marchman Act, often comes down to whether or not your loved one is suffering from a mental illness or substance use disorder, and strategizing with an appropriate team of behavioral health and legal professionals to ensure that the right decision is made for you and your family. Remember, you don't have to go through this difficult process alone. At Robinson & Casey, our experienced attorneys are your guiding light, ready to help you prepare essential documents, navigate the legal process, prepare a strategy for you to have the right success. So let us support you through this process. Give us a call today, 561-203-0085. We're happy to be here. We're looking forward to helping you.